Louisiana Beer Reviews. This is a special edition, Milwaukee's Best Premium Revisited. 4.3% alcohol these days. It may have always been. 128 calories. Milwaukee's Best originally debuted in 1895. It was a Gettleman brand from Milwaukee. 1961 was the year that Miller bought out Gettleman, which they said was literally across the street from their brewery, and they kept the Milwaukee's Best brand going. Now, in 1984, they said they reformulated the beer some kind of way and repackaged it, make it more attractive, and they kind of rolled it out as their brand, although before, it had been owned by them, but they were presented as Gettleman's Milwaukee's Best. And so this is not the original 1984 can. This is a 1996, but it's similar to the original. The original is a little nicer. The shield was bigger. It shows the beer wagon in Milwaukee. It says right there, Milwaukee Brewery. This is kind of neat. I wish I had the original can. No additives or preservatives. It's brewed with water, barley malt, corn syrup, hop extract, and yeast. It's sold at a popular price. That's what Miller calls it, popular price. You might say cheap beer. This is a later 1998 can design. And I remember they had a billboard up here on US Highway 61, and it said "The Beast," and it had a tiger clawing the sign. That's kind of like what this was, the tiger claws. So the original was shades of brown with gold trim. Then you notice they replaced the brown with the red. Milwaukee's Best Premium Beer, classic taste at its best. I don't know if this is classic taste at its best, but certainly not at its worst. Then they came out in around 2002 with this design, still with your red and gold, and that traditional Miller sign. You have ice in the background splashing. And this when they were touting the 1895 birth date for the original Milwaukee's Best. Then in 2010 they rolled out the new can. I like it because it's kind of a clean can. The shield still got the ice crystals in the background. A passion for quality shows in every beer we brew. It's about making something you can take pride in. Frederick Miller. Brewed for freshness and classic taste. This can is May 2015 Best By date. You may see it in bottles. We haven't had it in bottles around here, and well, I started drinking beer in February '96, and I never saw it in bottles. I saw it in Canada in bottles. I had an old 12-ounce bottle of that design, but I purged my collection of all foreign-produced beers because I just had too many. Here's a bottle I bought up on Highway 32 by the lake in Wisconsin 2 years ago, 40-ounce bottle. You may see it in bottles today, but it'll be plastic. They've converted to plastic as of about a year ago. I'm putting it in this Schlitz glass. I know I don't have a Milwaukee's Best glass, but it's kind of a glass made for a beer like this. Get a thick white head of gold, clear appearance, some bubbles. We did a show about standby beers, and I think Milwaukee's Best is your typical standby beer. It's easygoing, mild. You could drink it without worrying about hangover or sickness or anything. It's so low alcohol. It's not fattening. It's got Miller's quality control regimen in place, so you don't have to worry about any off beers or anything. Right now it's $17.99 for a 30-pack. prices have gone up in the last 10 years, as you're well aware. Your aroma, didn't talk about the aroma. It's Miller kind of has a house style. They always have a thick head with a lot of lacing. The aroma's grain. I don't know about it's got to be something to do with Miller yeast strain. They talk about their yeast that they brought over from Germany. They still use the same yeast strain since 1855, and it's sort of distinctive. It's bready, kind of standardized beer, but it's hard to describe. But if you drink enough Miller beers in your life, like I have, you kind of pick up on it. It's got a character to it. I guess it's probably what they did. They didn't like what Gettleman had, and they kept the brand name, but they made a Miller version of it in 1984. In 1986, it came out with the light, and in '94 the ice. So there's 3 versions of Milwaukee's Best. Used to run commercials for the beer, the light. They used to sponsor the World Poker Tour. They don't do that anymore, so the sales have dropped over the years. I guess they sell enough of it where they figure they don't need to advertise, and if it slowly dies out, oh well. But they probably figured it'll sell itself just on quality and price. The flavors, standard beer flavor, mild. The bitterness is low. The sweetness is not too much. The finish is crisp, clean, refreshing. It's on the dry side. This beer has won 2 bronze medals, 2 silver medals, and a gold medal in the last 12 years at the World Beer Cup and American Beer Festival. So somebody likes it. They sell lots of it. It's not one of the top 20 beers anymore, but it's up there, probably in the top 30 or whatever. But like the commercial for Budweiser, it's not made for fussing over a dissecting. Certainly it was never designed for that. It's just a drinker beer. And that's what I've said for years. There's 2 main types of beers. There's your speculative beers, like the Dory from Chimay, which I reviewed. And then there's your drinking beers like this. 99% of the people that are going to drink this aren't even going to pour it in a glass, okay? You're going to drink it straight from the bottle or the can. I like beers in a glass, and actually brewers recommend pouring it out because it releases esters, which enhance the beer drinking experience. And not to mention, they typically show a straight-in pour. So it's for a budget beer, it's top-notch. For beer, it'd be in the A range for low-price beers, because you can really mess up and buy. You think you're saving a little money and buy something like that Milwaukee Special Reserve, which I saw at the store in Louisiana last week, or week before last, and really be, it was last week, you'll really be sorry you bought it. Or you can pay a regular price for a budget beer and wind up with something that's nice to have with potato chips or hot dogs or fried fish. It would pair well with like cheddar cheese, American cheese, maybe not your more pungent cheeses like Gorgonzola or Limburger, but probably would go well with Mexican food, steak and potatoes, chili, pizza, for instance, go very well with pepperoni pizza. So some of the companies like Miller and Coors and Budweiser also have pairings. You get on their website and they have a little section where they show what to pair with food. So Les Le Bon Temps Relais, a good beer. Beer overall, it's a B. It's good. I know my daughter would say it tastes like corn chip. She would give it a bad rating, but she doesn't care for mass-produced beers. Except for like your flavor ones, Shock Top and Blue Moon line, but usually she's more into the craft beers. So anyway, thank you for watching this revisit special edition, and y'all come on down to Baton Rouge and go to a Louisiana State University baseball game.